Book marketing for financial advisors. Transform your book into a $1 million client attraction system. Digitally narrated by Paul G. McManus. Introduction. The truth about books and your financial advisory practice. Let me start with a truth that might save you years of frustration. That book you're dreaming about writing, or maybe already wrote, isn't going to sell 1 million copies. It's probably not going to get you on CNBC, and it definitely isn't going to generate meaningful income from royalties. But here's the good news. None of that matters. Because if you're a financial advisor reading this guide, what you're really after isn't book sales. It's quality clients who value your expertise, respect your process, and are happy to pay your fees. Let me zoom out for a second and explain why. Since 2016, I've worked with close to 500 financial advisors. Everyone from Barron's Hall of Fame advisors managing billions to advisors just getting started. And here's what I've learned. The advisors who get the best results from their books aren't the ones trying to sell the most copies on Amazon. They're the ones who use their books strategically to attract and land their ideal clients. How well does this work? The transformation is nothing short of remarkable. Advisors I've partnered with have generated over $100 million in fees and commissions since 2016, not through book sales, but by attracting new clients who were drawn to their expertise through their books. These advisors went from feeling invisible in a crowded market to becoming recognized authorities in their field. Their books became the cornerstone of their personal brand, fostering trust and opening doors to opportunities they once thought were out of reach. Why most advisor books fail. Here's a story I hear at least once a week. Paul, I wrote a book, I put it on Amazon, I posted about it on LinkedIn, I even sent an email to my whole client list, but nothing much happened. Or this version. I see other advisors with books, but I can't tell if it's actually doing anything for their business. Is this just a vanity project? Or my personal favorite, I sent copies to all my CPA partners with a nice note, hoping they'd share it with their clients. I even followed up after a month, but all I got was, "Thanks, I'll take a look when I have time." The reason most advisor books fail isn't that they're badly written, it's that most advisors are following generic book marketing advice that's totally wrong for our industry. The real ROI, let me share what's possible when you do this right. Prospects who come to your first meeting having already read your philosophy and approach. Centers of influence who actively share your book with their entire client base. A steady stream of speaking opportunities where you reach your ideal audience. The ability to send a physical copy of your book to anyone in the United States for less than the cost of a Starbucks Frappuccino. A system where people go from stranger to new client in as little as one meeting with you because you've built trust in advance through your book. How do I know this works? Well, let me share something personal. My own books have each generated over $1 million in revenue, not from book sales, but from using them strategically to attract ideal clients. My first book alone brought in $1.1 million over 3 years. My second book did so in just over 2 years. That's the power of mastering these strategies. Each book you publish generates better and faster results because you've learned which activities actually move the needle and how to execute them more effectively. And look, I'm not special. I'm not famous. When people introduce me as a thought leader, it still makes me giggle. I'm just a regular guy who figured out how to help financial advisors use books to grow their practices in a way that actually works. The 6 strategies that actually work. This guide is built around 6 specific strategies that we've proven work for financial advisors. As a general rule, we recommend executing these strategies in this exact order because, as you'll see, each one builds upon and enhances what came before. The inner circle. Soft launch. A systematic way to turn your best clients into your biggest advocates without feeling salesy. Foundation building. How to set up your book website and Amazon presence to capture leads instead of just selling books. The Amazon bestseller strategy, how to become a best-selling author, because that credential instantly elevates your authority and credibility. The audiobook advantage, turn your book into an audio experience that captures prospects during their commute, workouts, and daily routines. The center of influence strategy, how to use your book to transform casual professional relationships into real revenue-generating partnerships. The virtual speaking tour, how to leverage podcast guesting to reach thousands of ideal prospects without leaving your office. How these strategies work together. Let me show you how this all flows together from your prospect's perspective with 3 different ways it typically happens. Scenario 1, the podcast listener. Imagine someone is listening to their favorite podcast, one they trust and tune into regularly. They hear you as the guest expert, and they're immediately intrigued because you're talking about exactly the challenges they're facing. You mention your book, and because you got your foundation set up right, they can get it for free from your website. While they're reading or listening to your book, they're getting your carefully crafted email sequence. They're seeing raving testimonials from your inner circle. They're noticing you're a best-selling author. By the time they schedule a call with you, they've read your book, received valuable follow-up content, seen social proof from people just like them, already bought into your approach. Scenario 2, the CPA referral. Or let's look at another way this works. Your prospect is sitting in their CPA's office reviewing their tax return. Their CPA notices they've got some complex retirement planning needs and says, I actually wrote the foreword to a book that addresses exactly what you're dealing with. Let me give you a copy. Because it's coming from their trusted CPA, they read it that weekend. They noticed the website mentioned in the book and visit it. Now they're seeing how you've helped others just like them, noticing you're a best-selling author, reading the foreword their own CPA wrote, understanding your unique approach. By the time they schedule a call with you, you're not just another advisor. You're the expert their CPA personally endorsed, the one who literally wrote the book on solving their specific challenges. Scenario 3, the friend referral. Here's one more way it often happens. Your prospect is playing golf with their friend, one of your best clients. They're talking about retirement planning, and your client says, "You've got to read my advisor's book. It completely changed how I think about how I manage my spending. I'll text you the link to the audiobook." This prospect is now reading your book for 2 powerful reasons. Their friend is raving about the results they're getting with you. They're seeing the exact strategies that worked for their friend laid out in your book. When they visit your website, everything clicks. The testimonials include people they know or relate to. The case studies sound just like their situation. Your approach already worked for their friend. They're seeing why their friend trusts you so much. By the time they schedule a call, they're already pre-sold. How could they not be? Their friend is getting great results, they've read your methodology, and they've seen exactly how you can help them too. See how that works? Each strategy reinforces the others, creating multiple paths for ideal prospects to find and trust you. Whether they discover you through a podcast, get your book from their CPA, or have a friend rave about you, the system guides them naturally toward becoming a client. This isn't about hoping the right people find your book. It's about proactively creating multiple paths for your ideal prospects to discover you, build trust in advance, and ultimately want to work with you. Who this guide is for. This guide is perfect for what I call the successful but hungry financial advisor. You know who you are? You've been doing this for years, maybe even decades. You're managing serious money. We're talking hundreds of millions in many cases. You work with hundreds of families who trust you, refer you, and honestly appreciate what you do for them. But here's the thing. You're not looking to coast. You didn't get where you are by settling for good enough. In fact, you're probably thinking, I'm doing great work for my clients. I should be helping more people like them. My practice is solid. Now it's time to really scale it. I've got the foundation built. Let's put some serious growth on top of it. I know I could be the go-to advisor in my market. I just need the right system. Think of it this way. If you're doing this well with just your regular marketing and client referrals, imagine what's possible when you add these proven strategies on top of your already successful foundation. And let me add something here. This isn't just for individual advisors. If you're the CEO of a wealth management firm looking to create a personal brand that elevates your entire team, these strategies are perfect for you too. Because here's what I've learned working with firms. When the leader builds authority, the whole team benefits. Your book becomes a tool that every advisor in your firm can use to attract and land ideal clients. Beyond traditional book marketing. So, why does this matter for your broader brand and long-term client acquisition funnel? Vision and positioning. At its core, using a book to attract new clients isn't just a marketing tactic. It's a powerful way to solidify your role as a teacher and thought leader. Remember, your brand is ultimately your reputation multiplied by the impact you make on others' lives. Each of the strategies you're about to discover supports the larger story you're telling about what you stand for and whom you serve. Deepening trust. When a prospect reads your book, hears you speak on a podcast, or receives a recommendation from their CPA partner, they're not merely looking for an advisor with good ideas, they're looking for belief alignment. Who is this person? Do they operate from a place of integrity? And are they genuinely invested in my success? Your book, your public appearances, and your professional endorsements act as trust accelerators in the funnel. They help a skeptical or time-strapped prospective client move from awareness to confidence in your expertise. Creating a magnetic presence. Another reason the why behind these strategies matters is that each tactic creates multiple points of contact with your audience. People may start by reading your book's introduction, then follow you on social media, then hear you on a podcast, and later decide to schedule a meeting. That path from awareness to action is rarely linear. By embedding these strategies into your overall brand approach, you're multiplying the number of ways a prospect can discover, learn from, and connect with you. Alignment with core values. Finally, remember that how you engage your audience and why is a reflection of your core values. If one of your key values is education, for example, then every step you take, a short book, a free audiobook, an informational podcast appearance, reinforces the idea that you are a guide and problem solver. That consistency between what you believe and how you show up in these marketing channels is part of what keeps clients for the long haul, ensuring they see you not just as an advisor, but as a thought partner in their financial journey. Building team alignment and long-term brand equity. Beyond client-facing benefits, your book-based strategies also resonate within your own team. When employees see you writing, speaking, and collaborating with respected partners, they gain a clearer sense of the firm's vision and are often more excited to share in it. This energy radiates outward to clients and prospects. And remember, a book is a long-lived asset. A prospect who stumbles upon your work years from now will be introduced to the very same core philosophy that drives you today. It's not just a marketing piece. It's an enduring component of your brand's legacy. Bottom line, the strategies in this guide aren't standalone hacks. They're instruments of a larger vision for your practice. They allow you to speak to your ideal clients in a way that matches both your personal brand story and their aspirations. When woven together thoughtfully, these tactics create an ecosystem in which potential clients encounter your expertise repeatedly and meaningfully, often before they ever have a one-on-one call. That's the real reason to invest the time, energy, and resources into building your authority through authorship and strategic promotion. It accelerates trust, expands your impact, and ultimately brings you closer to living out your mission every day. How to use this guide. Let's make this simple. You're busy, and I respect that. I've designed this book so you can grasp the big picture in about an hour. No fluff, no filler. This isn't meant to linger half-read on your shelf. Step 1. Read it straight through. Start by reading the entire guide from cover to cover, even if you're tempted to jump ahead. You'll get a bird's eye view of how each piece fits into the larger system, like seeing the entire puzzle before zeroing in on individual strategies. Step 2. Go back and prioritize. Once you've taken in the overall framework, circle back to the sections or chapters that resonate most with your immediate needs. If you're already on solid footing with Amazon, for example, you might skip right to the chapter on leveraging your book with podcast appearances or centers of influence. Step 3. Implement in real time. Don't let this become theory that never sees daylight. Implement as you go. Schedule an inner circle soft launch phone call, outline your website funnel, or draft your first set of follow-up emails. Little actions taken now will yield huge dividends later. Step 4. Leverage our support if you need it. If you'd like hands-on guidance for any of these steps, reach out directly at paul@moreclientsmorefun.com. My team and I specialize in helping advisors transform a simple book into a $1 million client attraction system. Why it matters now. 6 months from now, you could either be exactly where you are today, still hoping to attract your ideal clients, or you could be welcoming a steady stream of prospects who already trust your philosophy and are eager to work with you. The strategies in this guide work. I've seen it happen for hundreds of advisors. Now, it's your turn to take action. Remember, you wrote or plan to write this book for a reason, to showcase your expertise, help more people, and build a practice that reflects your core values. Use it strategically and consistently, and watch how it becomes the linchpin of your brand, bringing in the kind of clients who appreciate everything you stand for. This was the introduction of Book Marketing for Financial Advisors. Transform Your Book into a $1 Million Client Attraction System by Paul G. McManus. To get the full version, simply go to Amazon.com.